Good morning everybody, Calm Biker here. It's a Tuesday, I've got the day off work, hooray! And it's an exciting day for me. And slightly sad, only slightly. I don't get too emotional about these things, but this is going to be my last ride on the back bike, the XJ6. So I thought I'd just talk about it for the last time, because I'm on my way to pick up my new bike, which I'll do a reveal video. Well, I say a reveal video, I may well stick something at the end of this video, who knows, but I'll do a proper walk around of the new bike later on. I've still got quite a few videos I think that I've done on this bike, so it might be making some appearances for some time to come. Anyway, so about this bike. So this is the XJ6 Diversion F 2013 model in race blue. Do love the colour. I've made it slightly shinier. I mean, this is actually supposed to be matte, but it's got quite a sheen to it. That's because I've been cleaning it. But the biggest problem with this bike has been cleaning it, because you can't use any waxes or anything like that, so it means that it's very hard to get anything protective on it. So I ended up using that Auto Glim bumper care. Looks like horrible green snot, but it's the stuff you put on your black bumpers and it makes them look slightly wet and shiny and protects them. So I use that for pretty much the entire bike because there's no gloss parts on it. But anyway, you don't want to hear about cleaning it. What do I think of it? Because it's the last day. I've done nearly 15,000 miles on this bike over just under 2 years. 600cc, allegedly 78 horsepower. It's supposed to be a little bit more because I put the Arrow exhaust on it, the full system. That's supposed to squeeze another 3 or 4 horsepower out of it. I can't say that it particularly feels any quicker or felt any quicker with that extra bit of horsepower, but even if it's there, it's only 4 or 5%, so it's not like it's a huge amount. But what it does do is sound quicker. I'm going to miss that sound until I change the exhaust on my new bike. But yeah, and it's been great. It's not really let me down. I've had one problem with it, and it wasn't a mechanical fault as such. Those of you who watch my videos will know when they do that stupid resurfacing where they just lob gravel everywhere, I managed to get a piece of that gravel to flick up off the front wheel, ping off the engine, and it landed in the fan at the back. Actually, there were 2 or 3 pieces in there, and I didn't notice, and it jammed the fan. And rather than just jamming and giving up and blowing a fuse or stopping or anything like that, the fan got damaged, and it damaged the back of the radiator a little bit, and it burnt out the motor in the fan. So I had to have a new fan, a new motor, and some repairs and bits and pieces done. Luckily all under warranty. But aside from that, it's never let me down. Never even had a puncture in it, which is probably a stupid thing, tempting fate on the way to take a bike in to part exchange it, but never really had a problem with it at all, apart from that little niggle. And to be honest, that could easily be solved with a fender extender, just to stop those bits of gravel flicking up. I do actually have a fender extender that I just never got round to fitting. I've only had it a couple of weeks, but just shortly after buying it, I realised I was going to change the bike anyway, so I thought, what's the point? So if anybody's got an XJ6 and needs a fender extender, let me know. But yeah, aside from that, been a cracking bike. As a starter bike, this was the first bike I got after passing my test, and I think it was ideal for that. Absolutely ideal. It's got enough power. You're never going to be struggling to overtake cars. It's got enough power. It's got enough fun to it. You can chuck it about quite a bit. Standard tyres on it are rubbish, but once I put the PR4s on it, absolutely transformed the bike. 10 miles an hour quicker into corners, and it feels the same. You know, just massive confidence from the PR4s. But yeah, good handling for a starter bike. It's not You know, it's not super sports mental. It will wheelie. I found that out by accident. Just after I'd run it in and I was allowed to go above 7,000 revs. First time I overtook in anger, past somebody who was dawdling about 20 miles an hour in a 40 zone, and I whipped past them with the front wheel in the air by accident. But yeah, as a starter bike, absolutely brilliant. The only reason I'm getting rid of it really, because you know it's still a great bike and it looks lovely. The only reason I'm getting rid of it is that after a couple of years, especially having the Z750R as well, it just doesn't have that power. You know, it doesn't have the acceleration that I have grown to love, and the new bike does. I don't like it when people indicate right at that point. Going straight on but indicating right. Yeah, the new bike has power in spades, and I do worry that it might mean that the Z750R feels boring after a while as well, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll sell the Z750R and get myself a project to rebuild or something. So yeah, so if you're thinking of getting one and you've just passed your test, heartily recommend it. You can even get one on an A2 license. You can get a restrictor, which is just a metal plate or two, to get it onto A2, and then do your A2, do your A1 later, take the restrictor off, and you get a much quicker bike. So what have I done to the bike? Not a huge amount. I've never really had to do a great deal to it. I've serviced it, did a full service on it with the help of the lovely Tosh 23. Aside from that, the new exhaust. The exhaust on the XJ6, I'm sorry if you've got an XJ6 at standard and you love it, but the exhaust is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. It sounds like a sewing machine, and I know some people aren't bothered about that. It weighs half a ton. It weighs probably 3 times what the exhaust weighs now after changing it. It's just silly. It really is just silly. That's this one. So if you're gonna get one, that's the first thing I would definitely change. It was a bit pricey, but for a full system, not so bad. You can't put an end can on and make it sound good, because it's got this ridiculous huge collector box with all silencing stuff in it. So you have to put a full system on it. It cost me about 600 notes, which was a bit expensive, but it really makes a difference, and the bike sounds beautiful now. Aside from that, I put a radiator protector on. That cost me about 50 quid. Changed the screen. The screen on this was rattly, and I couldn't get rid of the rattle, so I put a new screen on that doesn't rattle anymore. And then I put my new it's on levers. That's about it really. Apart from that, I've done an oil change on it every 3,000 miles, just to keep it nice. You don't have to. It's supposed to be every 6,000, but I give it a service every 6,000 and give it an oil change every 3. But yeah, I've loved this bike. The biggest grin on my face ever when I bought it, when I rode it out the showroom and gave it a little bit of acceleration, and it was apart from the Hornet that I learnt on, it was the only bike I've ever ridden that was a decent size, and it really went, and I loved it. Big grin on my face, and I've stayed with that big grin ever since. I say it's just the power that went that's taken the edge off it. Oh, I did tell a lie. There was one other problem I had. If you've got an XJ6, look out for this one. Centre stand. If you got one with a centre stand, I don't think they all have it. The little rubber that stops the centre stand hitting the exhaust perishes. Non-fault. Perishes really quickly, then just falls off. And you can go and buy another one for about 15 quid, and it perishes very quickly and falls off. I bought a doorstop and a couple of bolts, and then just used a bolt I should say, and a couple of nuts. I used the double nut thing to kind of lock nut it in place, and that stayed on. It's worked really well. Cost me about 2 quid or something all in. That's the only other problem I've had with it. Minor niggles compared to some of the things you see where, you know, when there's a bike at a place I work, it's a year old and it looks about 15 years old with all the rust and bits falling off it. So by comparison, I think this has served me very well indeed. So it's bye-bye little XJ6. Bye-bye little 600. Little back bike. Time for the new bike. Thanks for watching everyone. Ride safe. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye old back bike. Hello new back bike.